Most people think forming an Anonymous LLC keeps them invisible. But in 2026, a federal crackdown is quietly targeting those exact owners with fines that can hit $500 per day if you ignore one new filing. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what this new enforcement wave is, who it targets, how to stay compliant, and how to legally keep as much privacy as possible while still protecting your assets and your business. If you are an entrepreneur, real estate investor, content creator, or just someone who does not want their name plastered all over public records, this is not just a theory for you. It is personal. For years, people have used so-called anonymous LLCs to keep their names off state databases, and for good reason. Maybe you do not want tenants, angry customers, or random strangers being able to Google your name and find your home address. Maybe you have been told that an anonymous LLC can protect you from lawsuits, crazy ex-partners, or opportunistic attorneys. Wyoming, Delaware, and New Mexico are popular states for anonymous LLCs because they do not list members or managers on public state websites. That used to feel like a cheat code for privacy, but the rules changed starting in 2024 and 2025, and 2026 is when the real enforcement pressure shows up. Here is what most people still get wrong. They think if their name is not on the state website, they are completely anonymous. They think using a registered agent and a P.O. box means no one can ever find them. They believe that because a YouTuber or a random TikTok guru said anonymous LLCs are bulletproof, there is no real risk. The reality is different. The Corporate Transparency Act requires disclosure to FinCEN, but this information is not public. That sounds reassuring at first, but it also means there is now a federal database specifically designed to track the real humans behind LLCs, even if the state keeps your details off public view. So state anonymity still has value, but it no longer shields you from federal reporting. Let me be very clear about who this video is for and what we are covering today. If you own an LLC, plan to form one, or already have one in a so-called privacy state, you need to understand three things. First, whether your company is required to file a beneficial ownership information report, which is the new FinCEN filing. Second, what happens if you do not file, or you file it incorrectly? Third, how you can still use legal privacy strategies to stave off the public radar while avoiding those $500 per day fines and potential criminal penalties. We will go through how the law works in simple language, which companies are exempt, how deadlines really work in 2026, and some advanced structures like double LLC setups that can give you extra privacy without breaking the rules. This video contains affiliate links. Before we dive into all the steps and strategies, let us talk about making this whole process easier on you. Forming and maintaining an LLC does not have to be complicated or expensive. That is where Busy comes in. If you do not have your LLC set up yet or want to form in a privacy-friendly state, Busy handles everything for you, from formation documents to registered agent service to obtaining your EIN from the IRS. They even send you compliance reminders so you do not miss key deadlines. Their packages start at $0 plus state fees, which is an insane value compared to hiring a law firm for basic filings. I will leave a link in the description, so when you are ready to either start fresh or restructure your setup for better privacy and compliance. Now, let us dig into exactly what this 2026 crackdown actually looks like in practice. The core of this entire crackdown is the Corporate Transparency Act and the Beneficial Ownership Information Report, often called the BOI report. In simple terms, most small LLCs, corporations, and similar entities now have to report who really owns or controls them to FinCEN, which is the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. FinCEN cares about two categories of people. First, anyone who owns at least 25% of the company, and anyone who exercises substantial control, like managers or decision-makers, even if they do not hold equity. If you formed your LLC before 2024, you generally have until the end of 2024 or 2025 to file that initial BOI, depending on how the timelines shake out. But new companies formed in 2024 and beyond have a much shorter window, often 90 days from formation, and the rules tighten in 2026 as enforcement resources ramp up. Here is where the fear really kicks in for most business owners. The law sets civil penalties of $500 per day for willful failure to report or update. Beneficial ownership information, capped at a significant amount, And in extreme cases, there can be criminal penalties, including potential jail time for knowingly providing false information. So no, this is not something you just ignore and hope it goes away. At the same time, you need to understand the nuance. The BOI report goes to FinCEN, and it is not dumped onto a public search engine that anybody can look up. Only certain agencies, law enforcement, and in some cases, banks doing due diligence can access it. That means you can still keep your name off state business databases and out of the casual public eye, while quietly satisfying federal requirements in the background. Now, here is the part that surprises a lot of people who rely on anonymous LLCs. State-level anonymity and federal disclosure are two different games. Wyoming, Delaware, and New Mexico still let you form LLCs, where the public records show only the company name, the registered agent, and a mailing address, not your personal name. That is still powerful against nosy neighbors, random scammers, or anyone doing a quick online search. But federally, FinCEN still expects a BOI report that lists you as the real beneficial owner with your legal name, date of birth, address, and an ID number such as a passport or driver's license. Or, for foreign owners, a foreign passport number. If you own multiple entities, each one may need its own BOI filing unless you qualify under very specific exemptions. So, does this mean privacy is dead? No, but it does mean you need to play chess instead of checkers. One of the most effective structures people are turning to is the double LLC model. Double LLC structures can provide an additional layer of privacy by separating public ownership records from the person who actually benefits economically. For example, you can have a holding company in Wyoming that appears on public records as the owner of a second LLC in another state that holds your rental property or your operating business. On the state level, search results show company-to-company relationships, not your personal name. On the federal level, you still file BOI reports that properly list you as the ultimate beneficial owner. But that data stays tucked inside the FinCEN system rather than on the Secretary of State website. Let me give you a simple scenario so you can picture how this works in real life. Imagine you are a non-resident investor buying property in Texas. You do not want tenants or anyone else Googling your name and finding your home country address. One option is to form a Wyoming LLC as the holding company, and then a Texas LLC that actually owns the property. On public Texas records, the Wyoming LLC is listed as the member, and the registered agent address is what people see. If someone searches in Wyoming, they will see the registered agent there, not your personal name. Behind the scenes, you file BOI reports for both LLCs, showing that you, as an individual, are the beneficial owner of the Wyoming LLC and indirectly the Texas one. You are compliant federally, but shielded publicly. Now, I want to hear from you on this. Are you currently using a privacy state like Wyoming, Delaware, or New Mexico? Or did you form your LLC in your home state? Drop your state and your situation in the comments. Are you more worried about lawsuits, crazy clients, or just general privacy? I read the comments, and it helps me know which structures and examples to break down in future videos. Let us walk through the action steps you should take right now to avoid getting caught in this 2026 crackdown. Step 1. Figure out whether your company is considered a reporting company under the Corporate Transparency Act. Most small LLCs and corporations are, unless they fall under special exemptions like large operating companies with more than 20 full-time employees in the US and over $5 million in annual revenue, or heavily regulated entities such as banks or certain investment firms. If you are a typical small business owner, side hustler, or real estate investor, assume you are required to report unless a qualified professional tells you otherwise. Step 2. Check when your company was formed. If your LLC existed before the BOI rules kicked in, you are on a longer initial deadline. But that does not mean you can procrastinate forever. If your LLC was formed in 2024 or 2025, your filing deadline is much shorter, often measured in months from formation, not years. By 2026, the grace period is effectively over, and regulators have had enough time to build systems, hire staff, and start enforcement. Your safest move is to file your BOI as soon as possible, instead of waiting until you are on their radar. Step 3. Gather the information you will need for each beneficial owner. This typically includes full legal name, date of birth, current residential address, not a P.O. box, and a valid identification number like a passport or driver's license, plus an image of that document. For foreign owners with no U.S. ID, a foreign passport usually works. If your LLC has another entity as an owner, like in a double LLC structure, you will need to identify the humans behind that entity as well. So there is no way to completely avoid being named somewhere in the chain when you really control the company. Step 4. File the BOI report through the FinCEN online portal. It is not a tax return. There is no fee, and you can do it yourself if you are comfortable reading simple instructions. You go online, create a report, enter your company details, and then list all beneficial owners and company applicants if required. Once that is submitted, you are not done forever. You must update that report within a short window, often 30 days. Anytime there is a change in beneficial ownership or key details, such as a new address or a change in who controls the company. Step 5. If privacy is a serious concern for you, now is the time to restructure, not later. You can use holding companies, double LLC setups, and privacy states to keep your name off public databases going forward. That might mean forming a new Wyoming Holding LLC through a service like Busy, then having that LLC own your existing operating company or new ventures. It might mean moving your old single-layer LLC into a more private, layered structure. Making sure the transitions are done correctly with updated operating agreements and BOI reports reflecting the new ownership tree. You might be wondering, what if I genuinely cannot afford lawyers and I am terrified of doing this wrong? The good news is, you do not need a $500 per hour attorney just to form an LLC or get your BOI filed. Busy exists specifically to bridge that gap. They can set up your LLC in a privacy state, act as your registered agent, help you obtain an EIN, and provide the documentation you need to complete your FinCEN filings accurately. That saves you time, stress, and the massive cost of learning by trial and error. I will leave their link below so you can check pricing and see which state and structure works for your situation. Another question I hear constantly is, if the information is going to FinCEN anyway, why bother with anonymous states or double structures at all? The answer is that not all threats are the same. Federal regulators, banks, and law enforcement are not the people you are most often worried about. You are usually worried about unreasonable landlords or tenants, unstable customers, ex-partners, social media stalkers, or opportunistic attorneys searching public databases for easy targets. State-level anonymity and layered structures still protect you against that category of threat, which is where most of the day-to-day risk lives. Federal reporting just means you cannot hide from the government, and trying to do so brings penalties that are worse than the privacy benefit. If you are a non-resident, things feel even scarier because you are dealing with foreign rules and you might not have a social security number or U.S. address. The rules still apply to you if you form a U.S. LLC. You can usually use a foreign passport and a foreign residential address for BOI purposes. You can still form a U.S. LLC in a privacy state, use a U.S. registered agent address, and keep your name off the Public Secretary of State website. You just have to accept that FinCEN will have your details internally. The real mistake non-residents make is assuming that because they are overseas, U.S. rules cannot touch them. That false sense of security will get them hit with penalties later. So today, you learned that while anonymous LLCs still have real value, they are no longer the invisible shield many people think they are. The Corporate Transparency Act forces most small businesses to report their real owners to FinCEN, and failure to do that can trigger $500 per day fines, plus serious legal consequences. At the same time, the information you report is not public, which means you can still use states like Wyoming, Delaware, and New Mexico, along with double LLC structures, to stay off casual public searches while quietly staying compliant in the background. Your next move is simple. First, check whether your company is a reporting company and confirm your deadlines. Second, gather your beneficial owner information and either file your BOI report yourself through the FinCEN portal or work with a professional who understands these rules. Third, if you care about privacy, work on restructuring into a layered, privacy-focused setup, using a service like Busy to form and maintain the right entities, rather than waiting until regulators or angry litigants force your hand. Do not sit on this. The early years were about rolling out the system, and 2026 is when enforcement really tightens, especially as databases mature and cross-checks with banks and IRS records become easier. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you do not miss the next deep dive on asset protection and tax strategy. Drop your state, your current LLC setup, and your biggest fear about this crackdown in the comments so I can tailor future videos to exactly what you are dealing with. If you are ready to either start fresh or clean up your existing structure, use the busy link in the description to set up your LLC for $0 plus state fees. Get your registered agent in place, and finally stop procrastinating on this. Then, watch my next video where I walk you through building a double LLC structure step by step for real estate and online businesses so you can maximize privacy without stepping on a legal landmine. Thanks for watching, stay protected, and I will see you in the next one.